Hi, this is Andreas from Tacticalgearhead.com. Many times, John, Cindy, and I are asked, what kind of a flashlight do you take with you for everyday carry purposes? And for each of us, the answers are slightly different, but in general, there are a few things we look for in an everyday carry flashlight. One is it should really be a small flashlight. That's something that I can stick in a pocket or attach to a bag of some kind, something that's not too obstructive. But it should also be useful, bright, and have a reasonably long life. Now, I'm not going to get into things such as like they would in the candle power forums, like lumens and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to give a basic overview of these two flashlights that I carry personally. And those are the Fenix PD30, which I've reviewed previously over at Tacticalgearhead.com. That's a text review. You can take a look at pictures in detail. This light, the Fenix, has a few neat features I like. One is in the back. It has the tail clicky thing for turning it on and off. And in the front it has a crenulated bezel, which means that I can use it potentially in a self-defense situation, but also when I put it on its edge, you can see if it's turned on or not, like so. Now the other light, my more recent acquisition, is the Maratac AA battery, or AA battery powered flashlight from CountyCom. And I just got this one last week, but I have to say I'm really thrilled with this purchase so far. It really kind of meets my needs fairly well. And as you can tell, it's much shorter than the PD30. What you can see here is a view of both flashlights after they've been taken apart. The PD30 uses these lithium CR123 small batteries. Now these batteries are absolutely fantastic. They're very lightweight. They last an extremely long time, and the two of these provide more power than similar weight and size AA batteries can. And these two lights, or these two batteries together, make the Fenix, this little tiny flashlight, almost as bright as a full 3D D-cell mag light. Actually, I'd probably say brighter than the one that I have. Now, that of course comes at a cost. These batteries, if you buy them locally, can be fairly expensive. I bought them on the internet for a reasonable price. I got them for about an average of just over $1 each. But you got to order them in bulk on the internet. The other thing that I like, or the other kind of battery that I like, is the AA. And the reason that I got the Maratac in a AA is that the AA is the most common battery in my house. And also, I think it's safe to say it's the most common battery you'll find anywhere in the world. So for any kind of travel or anything where I might need to replace the batteries cheaply and easily, I would definitely go with the Maratac. And as you can see, size-wise, the flashlight is not much bigger than the actual battery. Same thing goes for the Fenix, but again, you'd have to carry around all the spare batteries for those. The Fenix also makes one that takes a single CR123 battery, which is even smaller than the Maratac, I think, but I haven't had my hands on that one. Anyway, I guess the next thing you'd like to know is, well, how bright are they and what do they look like? And there's a number of answers to that question, and I'll show you in a second here. First, the major difference between these two lights, as far as functionality goes, depends on how they turn on. The Fenix turns on with a tail cap push button, which you simply press, and it turns on. Now, there are a number of modes on here, including kind of a very low, medium, high, and what they call turbo, which is an ultra bright mode. And there's a number of ways you can cycle through these modes, but basically when the top part is screwed tightly down, it's stuck in the turbo mode, which is the highest power output, which is the way I like to keep it. And turning it on and then briefly pressing the tail cap turns it into a strobe mode. Not sure if you'll be able to see that in the video, but I think that's a fairly neat feature. If I loosen this front cap here, then the camera will default to the low mode, and pressing the tail cap briefly will make the flashlight cycle through the modes from low, medium to high, but not turbo. But that works fairly well, I think. Again, this light can also tail stand, which is kind of neat, and it has this kind of bolt-like edge around the front here to keep it from rolling around if you put it down to illuminate something. The Maratac is a much simpler light as far as that goes. This one you can turn on simply by twisting the front, and it defaults to, and it can be done one-handed as you just saw, it defaults to a low brightness mode, and then if you quickly twist it off and then back on, it goes to medium mode, off and back on, and you're in bright mode. Now the brightest mode on the little Maratac here is only, I think, about as bright as the medium mode on the Fenix. But again, you know, that's okay because the application here is different. The Fenix is bigger, it requires more expensive batteries and such, whereas the little Maratac fits very snugly on my belt, and you can't even see, or I can't even feel that it's there. So really, both lights, you know, they offer great options, and it's just a matter of preference for which one you want to carry. Or if you're like me, you carry both of them. Alright, now as you can see, I'm going to be testing these flashlights in very low light conditions here. I hope the video comes out alright. On the left hand side will be the Fenix, and on the right hand side will be the Maratac. The Fenix's low mode, which I'm going to turn on right now, looks like this. Whereas the Maratac's low mode, let me get it on there, looks like so. As you can see, the Maratac low mode is much less intense than a Fenix low mode. I actually like that because many times, for example, if I'm in a movie theater and I drop something on the floor, which is something that I do almost every single time, you want to have a light that's bright enough for you to look around in dark conditions, but not so bright that you disturb other people. And I think that that's a great option for this really low light mode here. The other thing about, of course, both of these low light modes is they offer extremely long life. So I forget exactly how long you can go in this low light mode, but it's in the order of days, because these are both LED flashlights, mind you. Now the next mode, the Fenix I'm going to put the Fenix into is the medium, and I'll put the Maratac in medium also. It's going to take me a second here. It's not so easy to do one-handed. This is medium on the Maratac. So as you can see from the same distance, the beams look quite different, but I think that they're fairly comparable. I'm going to put the Maratac on high now. There you go. On high, you can see the Maratac is a little bit brighter than the Fenix on medium, at least in my opinion. Again, I'm not a Candle Power Forums authorized reviewer, so my review may not be too professional here. Anyway, let's put the Fenix on high. This is the high mode, but high is kind of, you know, it's kind of comparative because the Fenix also has a turbo mode. And of course, the turbo mode, let me put it in that mode. The turbo mode absolutely blows away the little Maratac. But again, the cost is you're using much more battery up. You know, both will run on their high modes for about 2 hours. But you know, the cost for running the Maratac is much less. Overall, what I do with both lights, I like to keep the Fenix, and hold on one second here, attached to my EDC bag, which is the Maxpedition Jumbo, as you can see here. The Fenix came with this neat little, what do you call it, a little sleeve here that I've attached to the Jumbo, and it pops in there, and it's fairly unobtrusive, but it's not something that I want to keep in my pocket all the time. It's a little bit too big for pocket carry. In my case, I don't like to have anything in my pocket. That's why I carry along the EDC bag, or as my wife calls it, the man purse. However, if I'm not dragging along the EDC bag, I put the Maratac simply on my belt here, and it really doesn't take up any space at all. You could even clip it to a pocket, and because it's so small, you really don't notice it much. But so that's a great option as well. Hope you've enjoyed the review. This is Andreas from Tactical Gearhead, and please be sure to take a look at tacticalgearhead.com to see our other reviews on a variety of other products. Thank you very much.